All right, have you ever heard of Edelman?
Oh yeah, it's a public relations firm.
All right, thanks.
Don't do that.
Hey, have you ever heard of Edelman Public Relations?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
And what do you know about it?
It's was it the largest PR firm? Largest PR firm.
Illinois, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, have you ever heard of Edelman?
I have.
And really, what do you know about it?
Well, I've heard that they have 55 offices worldwide.
All right, very good, thanks.
Largest freshwater lake in the world, and it's about 118 miles across.
Have you ever heard of Edelman Public Relations?
Oh yeah, I'm a real huge. I'm sorry, Richard Edelman.
And about 302 miles from Indiana to Mackinac Island, Michigan. And Mackinac Island's the border between.
All right, have you ever heard of Edelman?
Yeah, I'm actually a real big fan of Richard Edelman.
All right, thank you very much.
The Adler Planetarium, right out there.
How did you train for this excursion today?
It's been hard. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of miles put in. Yeah, it's been tough.
Well done, man. Great idea.
All right, here's a question. How did you train for this excursion?
Wow, how did I train for this excursion? I slammed a sandwich before I got on my bike. That was how I trained for it.
Quick bag of chips.
And I thought about the beer would have helped me, I think, but we'll see how it goes.
So how did you train for this biking trip?
Oh, actually, I wake up each morning at 5 o'clock, and after checking emails and BlackBerry, because you know I'm Italian, and in Italy they are in the afternoon, so I usually found 100 emails. Then I go outside, and in the loop of Chicago, I go biking for 2 hours and then go to the lessons.
Okay, so you actually bike in the traffic in Chicago?
Yes, exactly.
How I trained for this?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's really. Watch out! I think it's the most important thing is like the mentally training, you know, not like the physical, you know. And so I've been, you know, like doing a lot of Sudoku. I think that's it.
All right, if this was a Tour de France, who would you be?
If this is the Tour de France, I would definitely be Lance, I have to say. Not from Texas, but I'm a big fan, and I still think I have a chance to win this thing.
But no Lance Armstrong bracelet.
No, I don't have one on today.
For wind resistance?
Wind resistance was one key factor, and I just didn't want to intimidate the competition.
Am I okay?
All right, you're perfect. How did you train for this?
For the bike ride or for the T4?
No, for the bike ride.
No training at all. I'm almost dying. I need a breather or something. I don't work out at all. It's my first exercise in 8 months. So okay, now I'm going to run.
Really?
Yeah. So you're an ambassador here?
Is this going on YouTube?
Yes. Are you an ambassador here?
Yes, I'm an ambassador for summer school.
All right. Do you have diplomatic immunity?
Yes, I do have diplomatic immunity, which means I can push you off your bike and not be arrested for it.
Is that right? All right. And how did you train for this Tour de Chicago?
I sat in T4 on my butt for 3 days.
What you do?
All right. So if you weren't on this trip, on this bike trip, where would you be?
Where? I have no idea. It's so too much. You're at the beach?
Beach? All right.
Beach. You're at the museum. Most of the time I have to check the photos. That's no idea.
What's the most disappointing thing about this group?
Most disappointing thing about this group? That they don't laugh more at my jokes. It's probably the most disappointing thing, but some of it with certain notable exceptions.
I'm laughing at his jokes.
All right, have you ever heard of Edelman?
Have I heard of Edelman? It's awesome. The 6 a.m. blog, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
All right, really a scarf today? Was it necessary?
Yeah, it really is. You know, I love scarves, and I just spent a week in California, and I usually wear a scarf every day, so now I've devoted myself to wearing a scarf whenever possible. And I can now, so.
All right, how did you select your bike gloves?
My bike gloves?
For this trip?
For this trip? Well, these are my only bike gloves. And like most of my bike gear, I got for free from my husband when he worked for Trek, so I've really been rocking the crew gear, as is my helmet.
Very stylish.
Thank you.
Wonderful experience, although challenging, you know. Richard is so fucking good in biking, you know, and you just can do the same. But at the very end, we enjoyed the whole story here around. Oh, I am Osvaldo from Italy, by the way. Ciao.
Best part of the bike trip?
When my butt cheek fell asleep. No, getting out of the conference room and actually sweating instead of being frighteningly freezing.
All right.
The way I trained for this was to take a 10-minute cab ride down to downtown. I was then sequestered in a windowless room for 4 days straight for 12 hours a day with only one bathroom break for about 5 minutes. I was also subjected to the endless droning of Phil Gomes during that time. It allows you, it mentally prepared me to numb the pain of riding on this bike ride. And so far, I'm glad I was ready.
Could you give us some reflection on why you think Rick Murray had to bring such a high, sort of technical bicycle on this trip?
Look, the guy is telling us that he is a serious biker, and you know he had to show his stuff to them. There was a moment in time when Murray pulled away. We had a fleeting glimpse of past glories, but we have high hopes for his future participation in the Olympics for Canada.
So why did I take this bike? Because I've got calluses in special places that only this bike will allow me to sustain.
And I think that's pretty good training for just about anything.
We need to take a shower.